Fanspeak, where the plan runs deep. The team grind hard, don't eat, don't sleep. From best ball dreams to DFS streaks, they help you print money every single week. Fanspeak. No cap, no gimmicks, we breaking limits. NFL bets, yeah, we live this business. Megan Steve, that OG vision. Draft room killers on a lifelong mission. More stress to the Sunday spread. Fanspeak's that voice that's inside your head. Best ball, DFS, NFL bets. They built it brick by brick, no regrets. Fanspeak team, printing money since day one. Fanspeak, forever.
Welcome back to another episode of Talking Ball with Steve this week. Today we're talking a different kind of ball. We're talking baseball. We will get into that in a second. I want to say hi to chat. We have Mike in here, Baseball Steve in the house. We've disbanded with the dot. Hope you're doing well. Mike saying glad there's no NFL news so we can have some downtime to draft some MLB. Absolutely. And then, of course, my sister checking in. Okay. I'm just here so Mike doesn't bully me. No, appreciate everyone for jumping in. We can talk, a little football on the side. Obviously, there's the big trade today. DJ Moore to the Bills. Where we rank them, stuff like that. But we will be drafting baseball today. I will give it a minute or two to maybe let some more people filter in, and we'll start by talking about baseball, the flagship contest on Underdog, the Dinger. That's what we'll be drafting today, and go from there. So yeah, the big news in football. Let's just get it out of the way before we get into baseball. DJ Moore traded from the Bears to the Bills for a second-round pick. Bills also get the Bears 5th rounder, but the 2nd round pick is obviously the main compensation. I look at it. I think Bills take a little bit of risk because Moore's coming off his down year, but it's at least very explainable between Odunze, Burden, and Loveland. And Moore was kind of big down the stretch for Chicago. Chicago doesn't make it as far as they did without DJ Moore. So I think Moore is no doubt a massive upgrade for the Bills. And it's a 2nd round pick, so Bills theoretically don't have to spend their 1st round. They still could. They could totally reshape their wide receiver room for Josh Allen. And from a price standpoint, the $24 million is a lot on paper, but at the same time, Alec Pierce is going to dwarf that. It's probably about what Wan'Dale Robinson's going to get in that neighborhood. And if they were to trade for AJ Brown, it would cost more in money, cost more in picks. So I think the Bills do okay here. And it's a guy Joe Brady knows from time in Carolina together. So I think that probably helps as well. All right, let's get into baseball. We're going to be drafting the Dinger on Underdog. So let's go over this contest. It's Underdog's flagship contest, $200K up top. But let's look at the structure. 2-12, so we drafted similarly to a football contest. But then this is nice. The advance rates for particularly flagship contests are considerably better. 1 of 8 and 1 of 9, 217 person final. So getting to the playoffs can be a struggle because baseball is a long, grinding season, and a couple key injuries can just ruin a team. But if you make it there, you do have a better chance. And then the 217 person final, it's a $15 entry max, or you would get $500. So it's a really big, nice ROI to that. Now, if you max enter, it's not like the BBM where you max enter and you get your full money back. But I think it's a pretty strong contest. And the way it works, weeks 1 through 18, that's your qualifier, that's your regular season. Quarterfinals, this is your week 15, and the way it works is each week you're getting your scores calculated for the regular season. And the quarterfinals, it's your combined 2-week score. And it can be different players scoring each week. It doesn't have to be the combined score for a player for over 2 weeks. It's your week 1 score. You get your total points week 1, your best out, best ball, your best players, and then your total points week 2. Those get added together, and then you advance or not. Same for the semifinals over a 2-week period, and then championship, the finals is over a 2-week period as well. So I know some of you probably know this, but just want to go over it since we really haven't done much baseball. So how are points scored? Well, first, let's look at the roster. You are starting 3-3-3 plus 1 flex. 3 pitchers, 3 infielders, 3 outfielders, and then a flex. The flex is coming from infield and outfield. So every week, you're getting your best 3 pitcher scores max. Like there's no you need to remember that. Whether you're taking 6 pitchers, 7 pitchers, 8 pitchers, only 3 are counting every week. Infield and outfield, it is same sort of thing. Your best 3, but your 4th one of those is going to count as well as your flex. And so it's a 20-person draft. So you do have some depth here. I personally generally like to build 7-7-6, 7 pitchers, 7 infielders, 6 outfielders. Outfield, I only go 6 for 2 reasons. 1, I generally take more in the early rounds, so I'm spending more capital on it. And 2, the outfield pool generally dries up. When we get to past round 10, 12, there's not many outfielders that you even want to consider. And then even there's probably a better pitcher, there's probably a better infielder. And so how are points scored? For pitchers, you get 5 points for a win, 5 points for a quality start, 3 points for every strikeout, 3 points for every inning pitched, but negative 3 points for every run given up. So, the way to look at it, wins and quality starts can be a little tougher to guess or to expect, because even good pitchers on great teams don't always get as many quality starts as you would expect, don't always get the wins for one reason or the other, but we can obviously count on those a little bit more. What we generally can predict much more is the strikeout potential of a pitcher and the innings pitched. Like there are just some pitchers who are not going to throw, 190, 200 innings. And because of that, they get dinged. Now, a guy who doesn't throw a lot of strikeouts, doesn't throw a lot of innings pitched, and can give up a lot of runs is obviously a bad play. So we need to try to avoid those. Hitters can be a bit more straightforward. Single 3, double 6, triple 8. So the interesting thing is a double truly doubles the number of points of a single. A triple does not. Still has more value, and a home run is not quadruple single. Home run, though, obviously you also get the guaranteed points for the RBI and the run that come with it. So a home run is truly worth 14 points. And then walks, hit by pitch, 3 points, and then a stolen base, which is interesting, is worth 4. So actually a single guy who singles or walks, which are worth the same, and then steals a base, it's actually worth more than a double. Now, obviously a double could drive in a run more, that kind of thing, and it is more predictable to an extent, but steals are very valuable, at least I find. So that's a general overview. Let's get into a draft. And yes, Jeremy, good to see you. We're gonna draft baseball today. First, the ASMR foreplay. Just got in phone to the end of it. No problem. All right, I'm going to count it down. These take a while to fill. The other thing to keep in mind, not only 20 rounds, but they are 30-second clocks, so they go a little longer. So I'm going to count it down though. And in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, enter. So the reason why, and we see this with ADP, the entire first round, top 12 picks, there are 3 infielders now. Ellie Cruz is there. Him and I a lot of times will pull up one of these outfielders above Cruz. I like him, but don't love him as much. There's 2 or 3 infielders that you're taking in the first round, and no pitchers, right? The first pitcher is Skubal at 17, and followed pretty closely by Paul Skynes at 22, 23. So in the first 2 rounds, there's just 2 pitchers even worthy of being taken. I generally am going to be lower on those 2 pitchers. I do like both pitchers quite a lot, but the issue is they just don't score as many points, and they're not as consistent. Skubal, and these are unquestionably the 2 biggest aces in the game. And Skubal had 1,300 points. Now he's done 2 years in a row. That's fantastic. But you just look at guys around him. Vlad Guerrero, 1,400 points. The year before that, 15, nearly 1,600 points. James Wood, this is his second year in the league, and he has almost 1,500 points. So it's just really tough to make up those point totals. Like, you can get a lot of 1,100, some 1,200, 1,000 point pitchers later in the draft at a time where the hitters around then are getting those same level of points. So Mike's in the 6th spot. I'm in the 7th. Let me know if anyone else is in chat. I recognize Dark Sheep. All right. Mike takes Bobby Witt. I'm going to go Schwarber here. Almost 1,800 points. Don't really expect that, but he's super consistent. 1,500 plus. So Schwarber strikes out a lot, but he hits the long ball. Obviously one of the best power hitters in the game. Likely story. Jeremy's in the 11th spot. The icon. Nice. Stop the steal. I'm a crappy bully. Come on, Mike. Did you hack FK's account? Appreciate you joining, Jeremy. And if anyone in here, definitely like this episode. If you're on Twitter, jump in, give it a like. Feel free to ask any questions, any thoughts. Again, I don't mind if there's any football breaking news. We can talk about that a little bit, but obviously this is mainly focused on baseball. And yeah, there's a lot going on with baseball. Like, it's a weird time with the World Baseball Classic starting, and we just see injuries, and we'll get to the suspension. Jackson Profar, I guess he'd be a guy I'd typically start considering, but the Braves' Jackson Profar was suspended for the entire season, so that was quite the surprise, I shall say. So here, I'm going to take Devers, considered an outfielder now. Just another guy with a lot of point potential, I feel like. I like the infielders here. Skubal, I think, is a fair click. I just don't do it that much. Now, Devers is tough for me because I don't love I'm just going to call them the 49ers, the San Francisco Giants total lineup. Some of their ADPs aren't great for me, but I like to stack. Usually it's like 2-3-man stacks, every now and then a 4-man stack. I'll show you what I mean. The Giants, I do like Logan Webb. I don't mind Adames. I'm not a big Ramos or Chapman fan. And Jung-Ho Lee, I don't take Harrison Bader. Perez, it's just not a lineup that I love where I'm drafting these guys. So sometimes if Adames is in the right spot, I'll stack him up with Devers. Devers might be a one-off for me, probably more so than a lot of guys like, Roman Anthony. Love stacking Boston, love stacking Baltimore. Love stacking the Athletics. Those are some really fun offenses to stack. Giants, for whatever reason, I just rarely find myself getting to a stacking point. Yeah, and I was just the other news that came out yesterday was Hunter Green was going to have an MRI. I haven't seen the update on that. I don't know if anyone else has. And yeah, it just doesn't sound good for Hunter Green. Hunter Green, the Reds, supposed ace. Yeah, I mean, great stuff, but he's very wild. And that's one thing where he'll get a lot of strikeouts, but he gives up runs because he gives up a lot of walks. And because of that, he also doesn't get enough innings. So he's always been a frustrating guy. The stuff is there, but the consistency is just not. And now he's injured. So definitely a guy I'm out on. Another reason why, even though we only need 3 pitchers to start, you take 7 or sometimes 8 just because you need the depth. Pitching injuries are real. Big time. I am going to go. I like Jackson Merrill a lot. Had a down year, missed some time last year, but just a young player who I'm going to keep betting on. I did like Cal Raleigh there. He had a little fall, considered that. But a lot of times in the first 5 rounds, I like to have at least 3 outfielders, if not 4, sometimes 5. So I get my at least 3 here. Then we can start to build from there. Exactly. No. And same with Profar. He hasn't fallen enough. Oh, that's nice, Jeremy. I had like 10% of him. Not that many draft. Like I'm only through because I have a lot of slows going. So, and I kind of counted up some of the slows, not all of them, but I think I'm at about 10% through like 70 drafts. So I'm going to probably do, Hartman was in last time I did baseball and he asked if I'm going to max. I'm not going to max. I'll probably end up around 75 dingers, 20 plus total bunts, some of the base hits. And I did some little limbs. I like that contest. It's actually, I was in the finals last year for the little limb. Last 3 years, I made at least 1 baseball finals. Last year was the little limb. The year before, I had 2 $3 base hits. And then 3 years ago, my first year doing Best Ball baseball, on just 3 dinger entries, I got 1 into the finals. And I had a pretty good sweat. I was like, not top 50, I think top 75. Yeah, I'll take Taylor Ward. I think he's kind of mispriced. Going to Baltimore, I think the Orioles offense is going to be way better this year. And so it's just going to be more opportunities for RBIs and runs. Camden Yards plays much more neutral than it used to, since they changed the outfield, dimensions a few years back. I think Ward. I think that lineup is going to be one of the better ones in the league. Definitely, maybe not to start the year because they got a couple injuries with Holiday and Westberg and stuff like that. But probably by the end of the year, and they got a lot of young guys. They can keep adding. So I think Ward, they made a big trade for him. I think he's going to be at the center of their lineup. And pretty happy with that. No concern over Devers hammy. Not really. Like there's still time, right? Like baseball starts about 3 weeks from now. So I guess I'm like an injury like that, like something where you hear like MRI or, even like back injuries for pitchers, I get concerned. But a hamstring, I'm just I'll be honest, I haven't like followed every minute of it, but I'm presuming they just give him a lot of rest between now and then, and he can be, kind of fine for the start of opening day. And this is different. If I were doing it, if this was a little eliminator, I went, because that goes 2-week periods throughout the year. So I want to make sure I have basically a full roster opening day. If Devers needs, the first 2 weeks of the year, he's playing every other day or something like that to like not stress the hamstring, I'm not going to worry too much about it. Like that's not going to impact my total season too much. Is I guess the way I kind of look at it. Let's see if Machado gets back to, no, he does not. So this is where I start to look at pitching for the first time, especially if Yamato gets to me. Hunter Brown, yeah, I will say baseball is the one I'm constantly checking for injury updates, but yeah, Yamato feels good. I mean, loved the strikeouts to innings last year, obviously on one of the top teams, so wins can be a little easier. So generally, 5th round is where I start to look at even considering pitching. Sometimes more to the 6th, 7th round. I will say for the baseball, for the little limb, I haven't done any of the larger limb. I'm more 6th, 7th just because I just want consistent starters. I don't need top end production as much. Well, this is a different build for me. I will have to take a look. Best Ball on Call. Appreciate you being here. Here's free like while I'm off at work. Enjoy. So 0-2-3. So started Corbin Carroll, Ramirez. I like Ramirez a lot. Soderstrom, Del Marte, and O'Neill Cruz. Cruz is one. I mean, his average last year was like 202, something like that. Very bad. But he's got so much raw power and speed. So you have that there. And then the Pirates lineup went from having, like maybe, Brian Reynolds is a capable hitter. And then it's like Cruz and who's Spencer Horwitz last year. Like there was not a lot to like for the Pirates lineup. And now they go out, they add Lowe, they add, Ryan O'Hearn, they add Ozuna, and then potentially Connor Griffin. So just in general, there should be a much better lineup, more RBI opportunities, more run opportunities. I go Peralta here. Get a second pitcher. I like Peralta's consistency. Now going to the Mets, but big time strikeout guy. Would love to get a few more quality starts out of him, but the win potential is high for him on a good team. So I like him and Dylan Cease a lot in this range. Another guy, big time strikeout guy. So I probably look infield at the next round. Don't mind Vinny here. He kind of had a bit of a breakout year. Good to see you, Dark Sheep. Hey, Steve, saw you were drafting MMO. Had to come support. Appreciate that. And yeah, I see you're in this draft. So I appreciate that. I want to do a little MLB down the stretch here. Mainly draft baseball, or draft football, but I want to start drafting more MLB. And it's fun. Like I do most of my MLB slow. And So I have a lot going. I probably have like 50 some teams going. But yeah, so I want to start doing some more fast. We got kicks in here. GM, who aims dinger that like. Appreciate that. So yeah, let's look at the board. Dark Sheep is 123. I'm 204. The money Mike over here is 123 as well. And the icon is 024. And of course, FK is on, I guess, developer mode somewhere. So sorry about that, FK. I will do another draft. So hopefully you can get in that one. Yeah, I like, this is the range of pitching. Like I said, 6th, 7th round is what I like a lot. Sometimes you have like, Gilbert Wooer in this range, but Webb, Peralta, Raggins. I'm probably more Cease over Raggins, but just because Raggins coming off the injury, but we know he's got great stuff also. So really big fan of pitching in these rounds. So I started a little early. Yeah, so no Hunter Green. Didn't get my guys back. Not really looking at any stacks here. I like Chris Sale. I'll stick with the pitching. The other tough thing with pitching that I find is why I don't want to commit too much to it early. At the same time, pitching just truly drops off the cliff. There's a handful of guys that you can get in the last 5 rounds that I feel any confidence in. And so it's not something where, like with football right now, you can make a case to go late round tight end and take 3 tight ends in the last 5 rounds. You could push, like what I like to do with receiver a lot is take like 4 receivers in the top 100 and maybe a 5th shortly after, and then the last 3 late. Here with pitching, if you haven't figured it out by round 15, it feels pretty bad. I definitely like having about 6 guys by round 15. Again, I just like this range of pitching. Luzardo, Valdez, I think they're all very strong picks. So we will pivot back to the infield now. Ramos is just not a guy I can really get behind. I don't know. I could be wrong here. He's had back-to-back solid years. I just don't take him a lot. I prefer like Garcia there, but like Bo Bichette, big time upside. He's gone. Love CJ Abrams. You know what? I'll pitch infield one more time. Since I have Devers, I will take Ramos. This is like one of I probably have only a handful of Ramos shares. So let's do one here. With Devers, it makes sense. Now, I'll probably do my sixth outfield fairly late. Not super late, but much later. And this I generally like is the range of infield for me. Because I think it's pretty strong. We've got a lot of guys. I'm not the biggest Spencer Torkelson fan, but he has the ability to get 1,300 points if he doesn't forget how to hit a fastball like he did in 2024. Like Michael Garcia coming off a really big year. Love, his ability to kind of get points every way he goes. But yeah, just a lot of guys in this range who I think are pretty strong. And there's a chance with this outfield. I don't do it too often, but I could stop at 5. I don't hate that. I've done it a couple times, and I could stack maybe 8 infielders. I generally don't do that though, just because baseball's such a long season, such a grind. So I have a good core for the top of the rotation. I'll be able to, unless I see a screaming value, wait a little bit there. So yeah, this is an interesting year with the World Baseball Classic. Obviously guys can get injured in spring training. We've seen plenty of those already. I'll just take value here, Michael Bush. So we've seen plenty of that already, but World Baseball Classic, these are real games. So, we see injuries every year of the World Baseball Classic. So I don't know, it feels a little riskier this year drafting now, or drafting with this going on. But it's just part of the experience, I guess. It is one thing, not that we don't see some injuries in obviously camp or preseason, but with football now, I feel like we can really feel better once they get to preseason. Like we kind of know the teams that are going to play their guys, so you can start mitigating some of that risk. But right now, with this, particularly not so much the hitters, but the pitchers, I worry about. Don't take a lot of Chapman. Just feels much closer to the 1,000-point player than the 1,300-point player. Andy Diaz, no injuries here. Go there. So let's see, we are finishing up the 10th round. The icon is saying at 334. I'm at 325. The Money Mike at 334. Dark Sheep 244, and we are getting into the 11th round. Right into the 11th. I do like Dylan Cruz a lot. I am a Nats fan, but I like betting on these young guys who, if they can break through, we're getting him in the 11th round. And he was when he came up, one of the top prospects in baseball. Now he's a couple years in. This could be the breakout year. He gets 25 home runs, 30 steals, something like that. Also, Dylan Lyle. I prefer Cruz over Lyle, but Lyle played better last year. I don't know if I feel the need. I need to go outfield this range. Chapman falls back. I think that could get interesting. Connor Griffin, 109 now. Man, is he flown up the boards? I get it. But, man, he does look like a stud. Absolute phenom. So I will take Chapman here. You know, I was considering him last round. He comes back to me. I think this is a much more palatable price for him. Get my third infield. Going to be pretty balanced now. I feel like the next couple picks I can just kind of go with best value as needed. Outfield probably being the least importance with my early outfield start. But I feel relatively caught up infield. Like I know I'll be weaker at infield than most teams, and that's fine for me. Because again, I'm throwing 7 at it, and I'm kind of expecting my flex to come from the outfield. Most weeks, you know, I'm sure some will be the infield. So who, you know, whether in the draft or in chat, who are some of your, and it can be guys we've already taken, who are some favorite mid-round picks, say 8th through 12th round picks? I'll give off some of mine. After I make this next pick. Ideally, it'll be Nico. It will not be. So, this is a guy, Trevor Story, started his career with the Rockies. So many injuries, but finally got healthy, bounced back. 30 season, part of one of the best offenses, likely number 2 hitter that we are getting this late. Now, the injury, you know, history is the reason for it, but man, if he stays healthy, this guy is a 3rd, 4th round pick. So that is truly one of my, so 8th through 12th round, let me give mine. So 8th round, I like DeGrom. Like pitching wise, I like DeGrom a lot. And Strider, I think these guys, ace-like potential, have a chance to fully bounce back. Other pitchers, you know, I like McLean a lot, but Mackenzie Gore, I think finally, you know, he's kindly, to me, young pitcher, finally at the point where I would not be surprised if he's throwing 180, 190 innings. He just never got that with the Nats. They're so bad. Had good stuff, never got good run support, so his win should go up with Texas. Potentially even his quality starts, etc. And I think he's good stuff. I think he's like a good, solid number 3 pitcher. Other pitchers in this range, you know, Wheeler is another one. King, those are other ones I think worthy of like taking a shot on. You know, Williams, I don't think he has as high of a ceiling, but is fine. Gossman and Gray especially, but Gossman, I think those are good. These other young pitchers, Chase Burns, Mizuraki, I'm generally lower on. Take them a little bit. I feel like they need the right builds. McLean to an extent as well. I feel like we kind of take them at the ceiling just because I worry about, will they have, you know, 140, 150 innings? Like, I don't know if they get much more than that. And so I always worry about that. Contreras. Because another young pitcher like Bubba Chandler could, you know, being the same. You get a couple rounds later. I'm going to go Rangers Suarez here. So sitting at 4.45. So as for hitters in this range, is I kind of view this range as the key range, like the first 5-7 rounds, fairly straightforward. Like you can flip the board if you want, mix it up a little bit, but these are the ones where if you get these right, I feel you really can separate yourselves. From an infield standpoint, Abrams, Garcia, Bichette are definitely my favorites. Right there, Bryce Terang, I like. Connor Griffin, though, I enjoyed it when we got him more in the 120s, 130s. And Dansby Swanson, I think are all very fine picks. Outfield, I think it's kind of thin. Like Dos Garcia, I like Azuna and Friedel quite a lot. I'm not too high on like Vachero or some of these other. That's why I like these younger Hauser, Cruz, Lau. I don't know what to do with these Boston pair. Boston's so deep. They're both very talented. Would start for most teams in baseball, and it feels like they're just eating each other's at bats. I take them some, when I'm really stacking up Boston, but not like overly in on them. Because I know they're good, but I don't mind betting on Marcus Semien having to bounce back. Kick saying, I grew up watching Carlton Fisk. Sadly, I'm a White Sox fan. Oof, yeah, White Sox are in a tough spot right now. I like Joe Ryan, Yuri Perez. Nice. Yeah, I like Joe Ryan a lot. He had a back injury earlier, but it seems like that's all cleared up. So nothing more worrisome there. But yeah, White Sox have just been a tough team for a while now. I mean, I'm a Nats fan. Since that 19 World Series, it has not been fun. I still want to get 3 more pitchers. Likely going to be my next priority. Because I don't want to get behind now. Like I had a good start with pitching, but like I said, it begins to fall off a cliff after these next couple of rounds. At least that's my feel of it. Garrett Cole is, I think, an interesting click. Got injured in 2024, missed all of last year. First time facing hitters. I don't think he expects to be ready. Yeah, late May, early June. But man, it's tempting at times. Not this round. Like sometimes he'll slide back, and that I could get more behind, but. Cabrera, anytime I see a pitcher with more than a strikeout per inning, I get interested. Dark Sheep takes them. Then sometimes there's some, just some inning eaters here, like a guy like Kikuchi here. Wins are going to be tough to come by, but just can eat innings and, generally gets more of a strikeout per inning. So last year was a little less, but I think he's fair in the 15th round, my 5th pitcher. Not always going to, really hit. And the other thing I should mention, some of these names are tough. I like that pick, Dark Sheep. Between me and Dark Sheep and Steve is like trying to lift weights next to The Rock and Vin Diesel. Nice. But the other thing I should mention with pitching, the interesting thing that you have, and this is why the playoffs are all 2 weeks, is, ideally we want pitchers when they get 2 starts in a week. That's the ideal. That's the dream, right? That doesn't happen every week for pitchers. So if you can really balance the lineup, and that's why I know some people talk about going 8 pitchers to get as many shots at that as possible. It just feels like you leave too much. There's too much of an opportunity cost in general with that. Like, I'd rather do what I did, like take some more mid-round guys. But so, some of the weeks where he gets 2 starts, I think he's going to be very, very viable. That's somewhat of the issue with some of these injured guys, like Rondon's another one. He's late April, early May, so it's a little better. But you know what? I'll do it for kicks. I like Shane Smith, bad team, but I thought he looked good last year, and probably the White Sox best pitcher. Probably not that saying a lot, but I thought he looked good last year. Wins aren't going to be great. I'm expecting his innings to get extended this year. So as my 6th pitcher, Shane Smith, I take him a fair amount. Not an ace by any stretch, but I think likely to eat a lot of innings for the White Sox, as much as he can, just because they don't have much else. He's a nice pitcher. One of the brighter spots. I mean, I know the White Sox have tried to, they have some young guys like Montgomery, and I will say one of my favorite late outfield clicks is Austin Hayes, just because who else is going to be in the outfield for him? And we know he's got a little pop. So that spoiler is definitely one of my 20th round outfield clicks. I think have some reasonability. So coming up here, I like Brandon Lowe a lot. I mean, just needs to stay healthy, but 31 home runs last year, 20 plus home runs in years where he can't stay healthy. He stays healthy, he can be 1,200 point guy. Ivan Herrera, you always worry about somewhat with catchers, but I think he's a catcher who will play enough DH, and like this says, likely starting DH initially. I honestly don't want him to catch. Just put him out there every day to DH. So we'll see if any stacks materialize. Not looking great. I will say, I don't like being in the middle of the round. I love being, at either of the turns, just because there's 6 guys here who I can make a case for. I'm going to go Brendan Donovan. For me, he comes over in the trade, and I just think he's going to get more opportunity here. saw it 2 years ago where he had almost 1,200 points. I think he's going to hit probably near top of the lineup. So maybe not, but I think this late, there's a lot of big bats on Seattle. Hopefully they can drive him in quite a lot. Should get on base a lot. I would say I was very much looking at either Lowe or Keller. Keller, I think, is one of my favorite late round pitching clicks. Dark Sheep goes with the upside of Cole. Keller is just an innings eater at this point, and it's like Pirates are going to give him as many innings as he can get. A couple of years ago, it looked like he had better strikeout stuff. Hasn't really happened in the last 2 years, but he still eats a ton of innings. And as I said, their lineup should be better, so that could materialize into a few more wins this year. So Keller is definitely one of my more favorite late round guys. This team is just not going to be as stacked up as I usually like. Just not seeing turn out. Definitely could take some young shots at a few players. Outfield's gotten really thin. Cam Smith is intriguing. I don't think I'm going to go there. I think I'm going to take Brady Singer. Not great, but 900 plus points back-to-back years. Reds have some offense. Pitching just, to me, is really thin. I don't mind Merrill Kelly. Don't want a second Angels pitcher. So I'm done at pitching now, I feel like. Not many other pitchers that I truly will, I've thrown in a lineup here or there with a handful of these guys, but not my favorite area of pitching. So the Icons at 666, that's not a great number right now. I'm at 765. Mike is also at the sign of the devil. Dark Sheep is at 765 as well. I will go over these teams. Generally, we only go over, YouTube members, but since I'm just starting baseball up, I will go over these teams just real quick before we jump into a second draft. I will do a second draft. And I usually call her mother. I guess Devil's another name. Don't forget tonight, Meg and I have our sibling showdown tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern. I'll be back tomorrow at 1 p.m. doing football. And I might try and do baseball once again over the weekend. I'll see. But I'll probably do it next Thursday as well, would be my guess. Because this is fun. I do enjoy drafting baseball, talking baseball. I don't feel I'm as strong in baseball as I am in football, but I had fun doing it every year. Had some success. And So we will take Rushman. Such a bad year last year. And I just think he's another guy who will probably DH more. Still was a good all-around hitter. he's a tough guy because he doesn't have like massive power and of course no speed. But I do think the Orioles offense is better. So a little mini stack there with Taylor Ward. And yeah, I think he's a solid click in the 18th, 19th, 20th rounds now, given the upside that we saw just 3 years ago. So I am deciding, do I go 8 infielders or do I add another outfielder? There's a couple guys, some of these guys are platoon players like Tyler O'Neill, Cedric Mullins, might start the year fine, but I like them as players. Just I don't see them having massive years. Austin Hayes, like I mentioned, I think is one of the few guys this late who probably can rack up, 150 at bats. You look at what he did last year with the Reds. Those are pretty good numbers in 103 games. So let's see if I can sneak him in the 20th round. Take Andrew Vaughn. Last year was low down, but I believe is going to be the primary first baseman. Has a little pop. Should be in the Milwaukee's lineup. It's gonna be okay. Would have preferred if it was a stack. FK saying almost never 8 infield in my opinion. The diminishing returns get too big. I generally agree. This, given that I've waited so long to get my first infield, I do wonder for this type of build, but it is tough. Because at the same time, it's one of those. I do need to fill at least three infield every time, but those 7 should hopefully be able to do that. If not, I'm in trouble, which I could be, because I don't fully love this lineup. But let me see. Cam Smith, I think is a reasonable click late. I don't also love having 3 outfield from the same team. Because then if I'm only 6, then it's half my outfield. So the team the bats go cold for a week. It just feels like you're conceding too many points. Not a lot of names late jump out to me. Like I said, I do like Austin Hayes. I think I will take him. Oh, you know what? I miscounted. I didn't even think this through. Sorry about that. I was getting too cute. And I probably should have taken Austin Hayes over Andrew Vaughn. I thought we had one more round. My bad. Let me catch up chat. Not a huge fan of this team. Wanted to start off with Ellie, but one of my few Corbin Carroll builds. Yeah, Carroll's fallen at least a little bit. That was so great. Not really. Now I regret I should have taken Austin Hayes. Definitely miscounted there. So this will be one of my few. I know I have at least 1 or 2 other 7 infield builds, but that one I know I did 5 outfielders in a row, and then I took 4 pitchers in a row. So this was a little different. So we'll see. Yamato, Peralta, Sale, Suarez, Kikuchi, Shane Smith, and Brady Singer. I'm pretty okay with this pitching room. The first three, I think you need to get most of the points. I think Ranger Suarez going to Boston, can be 1,000+ point player. Bottom of this, I think all should be 900 to 1,000 points. So generally like that pitching room. Infielding, I think, is weak. Michael Busch, Yandy Diaz, Chapman. I need Story and Semien to just really produce their upside. I feel like same with Rushman. I like the Brendan Donovan pick. I think there's some real value there. Definitely regret the Andrew Vaughn pick now. So we'll see how this works. Schwarber, Devers, Jackson Merrill, Taylor Ward, and Ramos with the stack. Dark Sheep went 776. Dragons, Chase Burns, Robbie Ray, Shane Baz. Baz is one of my favorite clicks in that range as well. Jack Later is another one. Edward Cabrera with the upside swing on Garrett Cole. I like that. I definitely do that, especially when he's falling to that range. Don't currently love him. You get like a round and a half value there. Freddie Freeman, Manny Machado, Willie Adames, Contreras. Both Contreras is actually Max Muncy, the Dodger version, Caleb Durbin. And so that's a nice infield room. Definitely jealous of that. Kyle Tucker, Roman Anthony, Jaron Duran. I like the double Boston outfield. I like Anthony. I actually love Duran and his price. Jacob Marcy, Dylan Lau, Evan Carter. So nice little, three anchor outfield and two young guys with a lot of upside. That's why I was talking about those kind of guys. These guys who could break out and easily be worth a 5th round pick, but you're getting them at 92 and 125. And then Evan Carter, it's not looked like he was going to break out a couple years ago. Never materialized, but it's a late round click. I get quite a bit. Mike in here, 767. Goes 7 outfield. Screwball, Max Fried, McLean, Sandy, Alcantara, Aaron Nola. So taking some injury risk here. Kind of going with the elite anchor pitcher, then some mid-tier guys. Chris Bassett, Brandon Pfaadt. I think he had a disappointing year, but could have a bounce back. Bobby Witt, Mookie Betts, Dansby Swanson. So Alves, Jacob Wilson. I like Jacob Wilson a lot. Athletics just feel so undervalued in this. And then Will Smith, another piece of the Dodgers puzzle. Arizona Renda, can never pronounce his name. Lawrence Butler, Mike Trout, Dolis Garcia, Willie Castro. Castro is a fun later outfielder. Like I said, later outfielders, goes to Colorado, should have just all the opportunities for at bats now. And then Gurriel, I'm not sure. I haven't taken much of him. I used to take him a lot. Isn't he injured to start the year, if I remember correctly? And then Eli White. So yeah, I mean, I think that pitching room, kind of needing the top 2 guys, but then a lot of upside potential in these next 3, and then a couple of, hopefully innings eaters there. I get why going only 6 infield here, particularly with these top 4 plus Jacob Wilson, and then outfield throw a little bit more volume at it. Have a couple. Mike Trout, is he gonna? If he's healthy, it's worth it. If not, oof. It's just always a roller coaster with Mike Trout. Kind of like Trevor Story. If he's healthy, it's a great pick. If he's not, you're gonna regret it. But that's baseball. Then we had the Icon at 866. So he threw more volume at pitching. he took the Hunter Green shot. So I haven't seen any latest what Green's prognosis is. Amber Valdez, Jacob deGrom, Hunter Green, Brandon Woodruff. So yeah, definitely some injury risk guys here. Zach Allen, I think that's a solid click. Andrew Abbott, Cody Senga. Yeah, we'll see what version we get, and then Andrew Painter, Ramirez, Marte, Langoliers, Hunter Goodman, Tovar. So a little Colorado stack there, and then got a Cleveland stack with Cal Manzardo, who I think is a good value click in that range. Corbin Carroll, starts banged up, but we know, just one of the elite players in the game when healthy. Soderstrom, O'Neal Cruz, Brian Reynolds. I like that Pirates double tap there. Brenton Doyle, part of Colorado, and then Jordan Walker. We get all the at-bats he can handle this year, that's for sure. All right, we will jump into another one. Let me catch up with chat. 116 drafted on the road to 150. Nice. I definitely don't think I'm going to get to 150. Promoted, developed anger management issues. Not sure that's what Underdog meant, but mission accomplished. Could have been in this room. Some great student winning infielders. Dream of home run parlays watching this. Yeah, Meg is a big fan of home run parlays. That's my daily routine, Meg. 2-player home run, pick 'em on UD, and showdown entry to keep the doctors away. Love strikeout parlays too. Risk and upside. Yeah, no, and especially when you're doing volume, like take a few risky shots out there. All right, I'm going to get into another one. If anyone wants to join, I will count it down. All right, so hopefully FK, you can join this. Entering in 10 seconds. Entering 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, enter. So sorry if anyone got in early. Looks like the previous room just filled. This is a new room. So hopefully we will get this filled pretty quickly. Still waiting on 8. Some FK in the underflow. Oh my god. Oh geez. It's not your day, FK. Caring out to see I'm drowning. Appreciate you joining, Jeremy. First developer mode, then hits the underflow draft. Baseball, I've only done a handful of fast, but almost always I'm in this situation where I'm waiting for 6, 7, 8. That has to be the first time where I start a room. Still waiting on 7. I appreciate that, FK. That's what we like to see. Yeah, the first one filled fairly quickly. I did figure, we talked about this a little in our Discord, and those who aren't in it, should be a link to our free Discord below. We do have a baseball channel in there. Obviously, the primary talk is football, but we do talk baseball, and that was one thing we said like a month ago. Like for me, I was just doing very sparing volume early. I'm now pushing a lot more because it is 3 weeks out, and hopefully we've seen the majority of the injuries that we'll see this spring training / World Baseball Classic. But I was figuring these would fill a little faster now. Come on, let's go, people. Yeah, I'm with you. And sadly, I'm guessing it's a lot of that. Like, we're going to see some of the same names, and they do a draft, jump in another one, do a draft, jump in another one. But they're doing like 4, but it's the same like 15 people doing those drafts. We'll give it a couple minutes. So just checking to see any news out there. Football, baseball, still. Has anyone seen any updates on the Hunter Green situation? I haven't seen anything today. I tried to look a little today, but I didn't find anything. So down to 5 people. Hopefully this gets filled in a minute. For me, and this is more just like general stats and also prospects. I go a couple different places to prospects, but my number one place is Fangraphs for both prospects and projections. That's what I use quite a bit. Oh, appreciate that. Friday he gets a second MRI. Okay. I guess it's a good sign that wasn't like a clear total shutdown on the first one. Yeah, that's tough. All right, 4 more people. Had the issue late last year. First MRI was okay. Okay, good. So it's just like double checking. Okay, that is good news for him. Wouldn't be surprised if, he's not, they rest him, not ready to start the year sort of thing, but that's probably best case scenario. Yeah. No, again, and especially if you're doing volume, I get some of that. Like, also creates like unique combos where you're getting him, like you got him 2 rounds after his ADP in the draft we just did. So it also creates, you could potentially get him at a place, when he's falling 2, 2.5, 3 rounds. A pitching combo that wasn't as easy to get, a week ago. Got bone spurs for sure. Gotcha. Yay. All right, 2 more people. Let's get this going. Oh, you're a Reds fan. Nice. I mean, it's the Reds. I love their lineup. Pitching, like I mentioned before, I feel like the Chase Brown price is a little rich for my book. Like, I know this, again, another guy, great stuff, but it just feels like we're taking him, FK said this in our Discord, like we're taking him kind of at his ceiling. And I'm not a huge fan of that, but I force myself to take a little just because I know, he does have some electric stuff. But I do love the Reds lineup. I'm a big fan of stacking up that lineup. While we wait, let's just look at it. Yeah. Ellie, like you said, Suarez, I mean, dude mashes 49 home runs last year, but I don't expect that. Just 3 straight years, 1,200 plus points, before that, you said should be 25, 30 home runs easy. I like the price we get for TJ Friedel. Sal Stewart, I think's fine. McLean, Steer, solid late round options. And then probably the guy I take the most from their pitching staff is Brady Singer. I think we get, it goes so late. Lodolo, I'm kind of like indifferent on. But yeah, Green, good to know that things sound better. So yeah, that kind of strikeout rate is fun. All right, we got the icon, Jeremy in the 3 spot, FK in the 5. We got Sweetleaf in the, FK in the 4. Boy, this is going to go well. I can't even count. Sweetleaf in the 5, Kicks in the 6. Nice. Not sure if Chip Skylark is in here in the 7th. OSU Missy is in the 11th, and I'm in the 12th. So FK, you can give Mike shade for not being in here. 35% burn. I mean, make your stance, and you could be right. It's nice. Good to see you, Sweetleaf. I feel like Chase Burns has definitely had a ceiling. Still got a lot of them. It's weird because Burns can pay off even at 150 innings pitched. My one worry is a guy like that, guys who get shut down, not only will they get capped at 150 innings, and I have a tough time with this in baseball, but it's also like they're far less likely to be effective late in the season in the playoff run. Not even worrying about the finals so much, but even those full 6 weeks of the playoffs, they could get multiple start skips. They could be really on a true innings cap, pitch cap, because maybe they got pushed a little too much in, July, June and July. So I always have a tough time with those guys. I want one or two of them just because upside is upside. And if they push me through, great. But I just worry about them. I just have a tougher time with some of those younger pitchers. And it doesn't always play that way. Sometimes teams are much more cautious early on, and the innings can still relatively be there late. So I'm at the turn here. Corbin Carroll is so tough because first couple weeks I was loading up on him, and then of course the injury fully cleared. I mean, that sounds good. We will definitely take Ellie Cruz, and I think Brett Rooker. That's love Ellie Cruz. I mean, just insane potential. And then back-to-back years for Brett Rooker, 3 straight years of 30 home runs. We know who he is. Love him at the turn there. I take him over Alvarez every time. Not every time, but pretty close. I got lost in the lobby. That's the concern that I have with these young pitchers. That's a fair point. Some of these pitchers who we know aren't coming back from injuries. Rondon is another one. Nola, some of these other guys who might not pitch early in the year, they will eventually, and if they can presumably stay healthy, they are actually great options potentially in the playoffs because we know they will pitch 7-inning games and can get wins and get 2-start weeks and stuff like that. Well, that's a smart way to do it. For sure. Like I said, I take Burns some when I get the right build. I like it when I have a couple guys ahead of them that I feel really good about. And then kind of slot Burns in the middle there. And then, a couple like just innings eaters late. Sweet Leaf Dread. Don't draft Profar. Yeah, suspended for the year. Just totally wild. I mean, but having this late, I said it, not sure you caught it earlier. I was at about 10% on him when the news came in the other day. So, I'll be way less than that because I still have a lot of drafting to do. But I'm sure I'll be like 5% on him. So that doesn't feel great. So Jeremy goes 1-2-2, Soto, Kurtz, and Alonso. Love Pete Alonso this year. He's seemingly crushing it so far for the O's. And then FK goes 1-0-2 with Acuna, Scooball, Langford. Sweet Leaf, I've done this a couple times. Schwarber, and then Skynes and Crochet. Getting 2 ace pitchers. Usually then I wait a long time till I'm getting my next one, but I've done it a couple times. I think it's doable. It's tough, but as we talked about earlier, like pitching just is not going to produce the same number of points as these other guys in the top rounds. At the same time, these 3 guys are aces. Like pitching, I view kind of similar to tight ends. I mean, obviously you need at least 3 pitchers, but it's like the top end guys go high and they are not going to produce the same amount of points. I don't care how good Trey McBride of a season Trey McBride has. There's going to be 10 running backs that outproduce them. There's going to be, 8 receivers at least at the minimum. But at the same time, we know these guys can, for the role that they have, just absolutely dominate. Yeah, I thought FK was pulling the rug here because in chat he's always saying how anti-pitching he is. All right, we will take Saunderstone to get a quick stack. And I debate this pick. I'm not as high on Riley Green or Bellinger. Those aren't my 2 favorite clicks. I think I go Matt Olson here. Lindor, another guy coming back from injury. It sounds like, he could be ready for opening day. I think I go Matt Olson. Just pretty consistent down the board for Matt Olson. So yeah, like we had these. I don't know what happened to Hammond Bones at the start of camp, but we had all these injuries. Carroll, Lindor, Jackson Holiday. Sounds like, I guess Carroll probably sounds like the best, but all 3 sound like they are ready opening day or very soon after. Now, historically, I know Hammond injuries do sap power a bit. Good news is all these guys are, I think, just good enough hitters and also, offer some speed upside. So even if their home runs are down a little bit, they, should hopefully just still be scoring a ton of points. FK has become a new man with this many nights with Claude. Now I know FK is grinding it out. with his baseball projection. So that's really cool. Go back to the board. So I went definitely much more, last time I waited on infield, this time much more balanced. Got Aiden, Matt in here. Good afternoon, Steve. Love the baseball content. Nice. Well, appreciate that, Aiden. I've only done a couple of baseball drafts on stream so far, but I'd like to get more in. I mentioned I might do one this weekend, like a show this weekend, either Saturday or Sunday, not sure yet. And I'll probably definitely do one next Thursday as well. We'll be back with football tomorrow. And but if this goes well, if people are liking it, maybe I do more baseball shows or more shows where I do both football and baseball. Not sure the best way to do it, but I enjoy it. Everyone watching, if you haven't already, please like this episode. We really appreciate the support. That really helps us, also helps us know it's worth doing. People are getting something out of it and enjoying it. So, but I do appreciate all the comments. That obviously helps as well. After the episode, dropping a comment after also helps. So, really, really appreciate all the support. Mike saying morning baseball, midday football, night PGA. I see the vision. Might be happening. Yeah. No, we've talked about doing like an around the horn type thing, doing all three. All right, definitely doing Logan Webb. Just want him. I think, like I said, I don't know if I want all three athletics outfielders. I don't mind having a third athletic player, but I'd rather be third or fourth, but I'd rather than be infielders. I think I will go Brian Reynolds here. Talked up about Pittsburgh having a better offense this year. Been fairly consistent. Last year was a little down, but I just think he easily could get 100 RBIs this year with this kind of bats around him, getting on base more, driving him in more. Oh, nice, Sweet Leaf. Watching tennis all day. I mean, I watch tennis some. Every now and then I'll do some DFS tennis, but don't know it well enough to like do much with it. So no, that's fun. I just turned 21 today. Any life advice, fellas? Well, I mean, you're in the right place. You're doing underdog drafts, right? So you're off to a good start for 21. I think that's an error I made last year, having three infielder outfield. I felt like I was making that error as well last year and in the past. And I do think it is a factor. I think you just run the risk, particularly in the outfield. If you are only stopping at 6, it's like half your outfield is that team. And, for the weeks where they only have 5 games or, game gets rained out and, or maybe 2 games get rained out, like you do run a little bit of a risk of maybe getting get behind it that way, or they're just in a slump. And if you have four players, or I mean, like I'd rather have 4 players 2 and 2 than 3 outfield for a team that's in a slump and they just have a bad week where they're just not producing a lot of runs, and it just feels like you just lost a lot of points. Yeah, I think that's kind of my lean this year. I probably have one or two teams with all three, but definitely my lean is to kind of max it at 2 for both positions. Infield is a little bit more palatable, obviously, if you're going 7. Mike Rob with the life advice. I do DFS tennis every day on DraftKings. Nice. Well, you have to let us know some of your favorite picks for some, when we get to some of the big tournaments. And that first legal drink was sangria. Nice. All right. Coming up here. We are through 6 rounds. I am sitting at 1, 2, 3. OC Missy 1, 2, 3 as well. Not sure Chip Skylark's in here. Kicks is at 1, 2, 3. Sweetleaf 2, 2, 2. Coolers 1, 1, 4. The Icon 0, 3, 4, and actually just took his 7th round pick as well. Lewis Robert Jr., who gets a nice team upgrade from the White Sox. Sorry, Kicks. I was going to ask what tournament was. I thought it was Indian Wells. I thought I saw something with that. I missed a good amount. You got like 2 or 3 sleepers this year. Michael Bush, etc. Yeah, somebody says I'm a big Bush guy. I did take him in the first draft. I guess are you defining sleepers? I think Michael Bush is just, I think we kind of know who he is right now. I'm not expecting a huge breakout from what we've seen, I guess. I think he's just fine where he goes. I don't think I'll take Hunter Green. Tempting though. Take Max Fried. And then not sure what to do with my second pick. I'm going to take Amber Valdez. So 3, 2, 3. Yeah, Sal Stewart. I'm actually big fans of him. Trying to think. Breakout. I mean, Connor Griffin, I definitely think he is the truth. So I'm expecting a big year from him. I know he's dealing with one of his hamate injuries as well, but Jackson Holiday, I think this was supposed to be his year. 17-17 last year. A lot of runs, RBIs, walks. I mean, I just think we saw a nice jump, nice improvement. He's dealing with the injury, so that's the one concern, but I think he could be a 1,300-point player. Jacob Wilson is another one I'm expecting more from. Sal Stewart, you guys shouted out. Ivan Herrera. It sounds like they're going to just DH him a lot, which is, I think, the right move. He I can't remember how many at-bats he had last year, but it was I don't even think 500, right? He had 19 home runs, 8 stolen bases. Like, I just think there's huge upside for him. Kevin McDonigal is another one. Sounds like he's getting close to breaking camp with the team. Some outfielders in this range. I mentioned before the Washington duo of Cruz and Lau. I think they're both fun. Colton Cowser, Baltimore, I don't know if he's going to be an everyday enough player, but we know the pop is there. We know the stolen base. He should be like if he gets enough at bats, he could be like a 30-20 guy. So he needs to stay healthy, get enough at bats. Chase DeLauder always dealt with injuries, but it sounds like he's breaking. He's going to have every chance to be in the lineup every day. He's done very well in the minors, but he's just missed time every year. So he just needs to stay healthy, but the talent is there. Let me see. I'm about to make my picks. Nice pick, Sweetleaf. I was going to take Connor Griffin, so nice pick. I'll go Sonny Gray for sure. And for TJ Friedel for Cincinnati stack. Yeah, it's getting tougher and tougher to take Connor Griffin, but I'm okay chasing him up the board a little bit. I would be, at this point, I'd be kind of shocked if he doesn't start the year. Yeah, Baldwin is a good later round pick. Tough thing is, and I guess probably more so, I mentioned this earlier, I like catchers who I know when they're not catching, they're going to DH more. Because end of the day, at bats are going to matter the most. Like you can hit 20 home runs as a catcher, but if you have only 500 bats, it's not going to help as much. But yeah, I'm hoping he had a great year last year. Hoping he gets more DH chances when he's not, not catching. So James Wood, the Nats outfield are all fun and young. James Wood obviously is a stud. But yeah, I don't really want to get all three, but yeah, I like it a lot. Stewart is a guy who should be playing every day. So yeah, I think he is a very fun pick. Yeah, this is what I need to adjust more to. What are the Braves going to do? Is it going to be Eli White? Do they go out and add somebody? Because I haven't invested enough time to see what the full plan is. Sweetleaf, nice. You have to excuse me, I'm a long-suffering Pirate fan. Pirates are a team I always kind of root for. I'm more Nats and Orioles. Growing up in this region, Washington D.C. region, started with the Orioles way back when. And of course, Nats come to town. But my parents are from Western Pennsylvania, so Pirates. Always been to multiple Pirates games over the years. Love their stadium. It's fun. They have these phenoms. Hopefully they get a good product on the field. I like that they added some other major league caliber hitters this year. So it's also why I think, Connor Griffin should break camp, because why did you spend all that money on, getting in these other hitters if you're just going to try and, stick Griffin? up. Seeing it 424. So Pena is dealing with something, right? Seeing a hand specialist. It's not great. I'll be honest, I've drafted him, Murakami, like once, maybe twice. Just don't have a great feel for that situation. Same with these Boston outfielders. I said before, like, we know Abreu and Rafaela are super talented, but will they get enough at bats? So I'm going to look here. I think Nico, I'm always a big fan of. I don't know if I'd take Story again. Castillo, he's been solid, but it, hasn't been this guy from 2023. Robbie Ray, kind of same. Like, had a nice bounce back here. Not sure if I trust it. I'm gonna just take Story. So saying that 4-4-4 across the board. I think I have a nice core to my pitching staff. I think I have a really good core for my infield now, and a really good outfield core. So overall, I feel pretty good about this team. OC Missy takes Holiday. He's a guy who I think sometimes can fall back into 156. That's when I like to take him. But yeah, I love that pick. Love his upside. Oh yeah, I mean, Bob Nutting is just the worst. I wish they would, have him sell a team. Hopefully Jonah Tong takes a step. He's really fun to watch. Interesting, yeah. Young Mets pitcher. I got a lot of shares of Griffin earlier. I let him come to me at this point. Doesn't happen much now. No, it definitely does not. I wasn't drafting too much early, so I didn't get a lot of Griffin at his best price, and I'm fine with it. I just wasn't going to overextend and draft too much early. 70% on Griffin and ADP 140s. Wow, that's fun. Hand doctors are killing it. Yeah, I don't know what it is with hand injuries in baseball this offseason. Okay, so through 12, the icon Jeremy is at 336, FK is at 255, Sweetleaf 534, Hicks 354, OC Missy 354, and I'm at 444. So FK went the anchor pitcher, Screwball, and next pitcher not until Williams in round 11, and then BB. Really loves those Cleveland Guardian pitchers. The known aces of the Guardians. I think they're both fair ADPs. Neither are like massive strikeout guys, but good quality pitchers all around. So earlier, Underdog posted that Luzardo had a big debut, which is nice to see. I like him on the Phillies. It's fun, and his win potential is definitely much higher. So I feel like I could go in just about any direction. Here, definitely like a few of these pitchers. Evaldi is fine. Gallen, Rogers. Not really a fan of Otto. I think I'd go Colson, Montgomery. I like Shane Baz. I think debate between him and Nola. But I think Baz is healthy, has really nice stuff, and could have plenty of win opportunities. Jerry asking DJ Moore to my Bills, what do you think? Not sure how I feel with the money he's making. So, I think it's a reasonable trade. It's the second round pick for Moore and a fifth rounder. So it's more closer to like third round and also it's a late second rounder. So it's like third round equivalency. I think it's extremely fair. Obviously, if you're going to get in the AJ Brown trade market, it's going to be way more expensive, both money and picks. So I think that's good for the Bears. The money, I'm not too worried about. Like on paper, it sounds like a lot, 24 million, and then basically his main salary next year is guaranteed. Let me bring this up just to. I won't bring up the screen, but I do want to mention it so I have the right numbers. DJ Moore, going to over the cap, because I looked at this a couple weeks ago, and I thought it was a pretty reasonable, like essentially they've guaranteed his base salary these next 2 years, right? It's like 17 million of his 2028. I think that's what I saw Schefter reported. So I might have those facts. I have a little time here. I have a little bit of time. So let me just make sure I'm having the right, I read the right report that they guaranteed, how much was the contract? Guaranteed 15.5 million of his 2028 base. So probably locks him into the Bears for the next 3 years, the Bills for the next 3 years. He's technically under contract for 4 years. And what it is, he does have a per game roster bonus and workout bonus, but those are small. But there's no signing bonus. The Bears paid all that, so it's essentially 24 million a year, 24.5 million the next 4 years. That sounds like a lot, but that's ages 29 through 32, so he still should be in his prime. And really, we're only talking about the 3 years because they can get out of it after these 3 years for essentially for nothing. So I look at it, you signed a guy for 3 years, 25 million a year. That's a little on the high side, but not by much. Like that's probably in the neighborhood that Wandale will sign for. And that comes with like signing bonus money, more guaranteed. So if you needed to cut him, like if you desperately needed to cut him, you'd lose out big time. And if you trade him, you lose out big time. Where now the Bills, let's say the next 2 years go pretty well, and then they look to trade him for year 3. They could do that, and they would then get out of all that money. So because there's no signing bonus, it actually makes it a little bit more palatable to trade him versus cut him in future years. Now, if he plays terrible or is injured, that'll be hard, but at least there's more optionality than say a free agent signing, like a multi-year free agent signing. Even somebody like Shaheed could be approaching 20 million a year. I think him and Dobbs are more high teens, but we'll kind of see how that plays out. Let me make these picks, and I'll continue my point. Drake Baldwin goes. I would have considered that. I like Jack later. Doing an outfield. I feel like I had to pull somebody out. Maybe I would wait one more round for outfield. Yeah. I think I'd rather pull up Brandon Lowe. Low pirate stack. And as I said before, I mean, if he's healthy, I think he can easily outplay this ADP. He maybe would have come back to me. Sometimes he slides back, but being on the turn, probably not. And Salvador Perez is fine. Will Smith, it's okay. Just nobody there I feel like I have to have. So from more perspective, I think, Alec Pierce, not only the contract would be tougher to cut or trade down the line, but he's going to get more money. Alec Pierce is going to get 20, 27, 28 million, maybe approaching 29. So I just think that like Mike Evans would have been probably the best from a 1 year, you could pay him 1 year, 20 million, but there's no guarantee and there's going to be a market for him. So I think they did fine. And, even though could be rookies that they could get with the late first rounder and still could go down that road if they need to, he's definitely better than whatever rookie they would have gotten in the second round. Like there's no question on that. And from an NFL readiness standpoint. So they're built to win now. And I think he does upgrade them for next year. He's good. I just don't think he's elite, and he seems like a slight upgrade over Shakir. Well, I think him and Shakir are just playing together. Like he's going to play outside. He can play low inside, but he's going to play outside. Shakir will be in the slot. I think they're going to still try and make Keon Coleman happen. Not sure if that's going to work, but to give him a little bit more size. So I do think in terms of the draft, if they were to still go the first round route, I think they're much more looking like the Tyson Boston range than say, Concepcion or Omar Cooper Jr. But they probably don't go in the first round anymore. And the other thing is, what it does free up also is their ability to do, they almost felt like they were locked to take a first round receiver. Like they had to. So now what they could do is trade back in the first round, stockpile picks, maybe address multiple needs from that department. So I will take Donovan again. I need an outfielder. So I'll be done at infield. Chandler Simpson is a tough one. Like the speed is legit, but he is not going to hit a home run. I think Jordan Walker is reasonable, but I'm going to take Cam Smith here. Yeah, I'll take Cam Smith. I don't mind pulling him up. I considered just taking a pitcher here. I just don't. These guys don't wow me for my seventh. just wait. But yeah, done at infield now. Yeah, I was looking for the Reds infield. Couldn't find them. No worries. So yeah, and we'll make sure Megan and I will talk about more tonight, and I'll talk about more tomorrow. Yeah, I do think the Bills, hey, they addressed their number one need. That is important. Something they didn't do last year. You know, this is just light years better than Josh Palmer. You know, since Diggs has left, they've kind of gone, you know, I mean, a second rounder on Keon Coleman, but they've you know, they tried to replace Diggs with Curtis Samuel. That was just an awful idea all around. So coming up on the last two rounds, I'm at 675. OSU Missy also at 675. Chip Skylark 855. Kicks 576. Sweetleaf 576. And FK caught up at pitching 765. The Icon now 666. So FK just went on this pitching tear. We saw Williams, Bibby, Trevor Rogers, Imai, Chris Bubik, and Drew Rasmussen. Kick saying I can't work and draft at the same time. Yeah, no, I'm sure that's tough. But I appreciate everyone for joining, everyone for liking this episode. Like I said, if you can leave a comment after, that helps. We'll be back tonight with Meg doing our sibling showdown, and I'll be back tomorrow drafting football. But this has been fun doing baseball. Like I said, I'll probably try and find a day this weekend to do it. We'll almost assuredly do it next Thursday as well. And maybe, you know, in these next couple weeks, I do some, I probably think it's better to separate the shows. So maybe there will be some days where I do a baseball and a football show. But we'll just have to see, and feel free to let us know. Let us know in the comments after the stream. Let us know, join our Discord. That helps us as well. So I'm going to make these last two picks, and then we'll still talk, of course. So I'll take Austin Hayes. Didn't do it last time. Also, little White Sox thing going. And then I need a pitcher. Not a lot I like here. Bryce Miller, no. I'm going to go Quinn Priester. I think he gets a longer run this year. Not the biggest strikeout guy, but was a decent prospect. So hoping he develops. So I go 776. Logan Webb, Max Fried, Ramber Valdez, Sonny Gray. So that's my core of the pitching. Shane Baz, Jack Leiter, and Quinn Priester. Ellie Cruz, Matt Olson, Nico Warner, Trevor Story, Colson Montgomery, Brandon Lowe, and Brendan Donovan. I like how the infield turned out. Have kind of double anchor-ish, and then a couple in the mid-tier, and then some late. That's probably, sometimes it's only one infielder. I usually kind of draft like this, mixing up my infield exposure. went 3 outfield early, but then took a pretty big break. Took Friedel and then 2 late. I usually like to have a 5th I feel a little bit more confident in. But I think Cam Smith, Austin Hayes, those are 2 of the late round guys I do take. And felt I had to pull up Cam Smith. I kind of knew Austin Hayes would be there in the 20th. So overall, really relying on the Athletics outfield. But those are 2 good bats to rely on. And then Reynolds, Friedel, and then 2 other guys. Like I said, I think Austin Hayes is one of the more intriguing ones. I'd be shocked if he doesn't get 550 at bats this year with the White Sox. Presumably he can stay healthy. With the O's, he was always just kind of in a platoon, and even after the trade, same sort of thing. So, yeah, it's a little thinner at outfield than I generally like, but I feel the pitching room is strong. This infield room is much stronger than my first one, so probably worth it for the little weaker outfield. I will quickly go over the other baseball teams. OSU Missy, 776, Raggins, Gossman, Chase Burns, Zach Gallen, Cabrera, Ashcraft, and Slade Sinati. Definitely not pronouncing that right. But Raggins is healthy. Chase Burns, nice little mix of like upside, and then Gallen I think is just a solid late innings eater. Some other young pitchers here. Jose Ramirez, Pedramo, Michael Bush, Ozzy Albiz, Jackson Holiday. I like infield. Drake Baldwin, Aldi Rushman. Yeah, this is an infield I typically draft. James Wood, Suzuki, Happ. The Cubs are just such an easy team to stack up. These outfielders line up. We have this infielders like Bush or Nico or Swanson, and then Quan, Mike Yastrzemski, who probably is going to get a lot more bats now, and Ryan Waldschmidt. I can say I don't think I drafted him, but nice to mix it up. Taking some late shots. We are getting more information on who might be making teams and going 677. So Christopher Sanchez, Mackenzie Gore, Yuri Perez, Lodolo, Matthew Boyd, Kelly. A little thin at pitching. Usually I'd like to have a 7th, especially if I'm not getting like some of the true aces. Like Suarez, Gore, Perez is fine. Some of these late guys like Boyd, Kelly are fine, but I probably want a 7th just for a little security there. Gunnar Henderson, Jazz Chisholm, Robichette, Dansby Swanson, Murakami, Jacob Wilson, Max Muncy. I don't think a lot of Muncy, but more just because not every Dodger can be a great pick. But I love Jacob Wilson. I love the top 4. Like I said, I don't know what to do about Murakami. I haven't really taken a lot of him. Kyle Tucker, Pete Crow Armstrong. Love the top 2 outfielders here. Mike Trout, it's all a matter of if he's healthy. Joe Adell, inconsistent, but a lot of fantasy production. Chase DeLauder, I like a lot. Willie Castro, like I said before, I think he goes to Colorado, gets regular at bats, and then Cedric Mullins. I worry about his regular at bats, so a little bit of a concern there. But he's a talented player. Maybe he finds a way to more consistent at bats than I'm expecting. Sweetleaf 767, Skeens, Crochet did the double anchor pitching. Chris Sale, Kyle Bradish, Bubba Chandler, Mike Burrows, Jared Jones. Sweetleaf is a Pirates fan. There's no question there. Nothing wrong with that. These pitchers are also very good. Burrows on Houston now. So, and then, Crochet and Sale in there, Bradish, who, if he's healthy, should be near the top of the O's rotation. No, I mean that this pitching, the top three can just carry this team for sure. And then the Philly stack here: Harper, Turner, that's nice. Connor Griffin, Tovar, Herrera, Bryson Scott. So only 6 infielders. Which I think is fine. Big Philly stack, just relying on that. As long as Connor Griffin breaks with the club, that'll be fine. Or massive Philly stack here, but I like that a lot. Michael Harris would have some concerns, like I mentioned, about only 6 infielders and 3 are Phillies, but Phillies are one of the best offenses. Michael Harris, Elliot Ramos, Doyle, Frelick. He's one of my favorite mid-round outfielders, Jordan Beck and Mickey Moinack. I take Beck some, and the outfield, I think is, Schwarber is the key, but definitely built, with depth and a lot of quality there. FK Coolers, 776, Scooball, then the Cleveland duo, Trevor Rogers, Imai, Bubik, and Rasmussen. I mean, can he be healthy? Trevor Rogers kind of same, but I think it's an interesting build. Like Scooball's the anchor, kind of a couple good innings eaters, and then some upside plays to round it out. Marte, Bregman, Turang, like that core of the infield. Torkelson, Pena, Paredes. I know there's some trade rumors around there, and then Andrew Vaughn, Acuna. Who should be I think he's going to be fully back in form this year. Langford, Nemo. I love that Texas stack. I do that quite often. It feels really good. Those prices on both. I really like Nemo moving to Texas. I think he's going to have a big year. Altuve, Thomas Garcia, and then Brandon Marsh is final outfielder. So that was fun. Appreciate everyone for joining me. I will hit up chat and then we'll get on out of here. Thank you again for the likes and everything else. Let's see. Getting Diggs back cheap. Who takes the 1-year shot on Diggs? I don't know how. I don't think it's going to be super cheap. I think there will be a lot of provisions in the contract and the off the field stuff and whatnot. But he had a good year last year, and that was his first year coming back from an ACL. So I think Diggs, it'll be like a 2 or 3 year deal, but I don't think it's going to be super cheap. Would be just my guess. FK saying doesn't do this build a lot, but the forced diversity was good. I agree. Sometimes that's how you have to do it. Like my second draft better. Wait, did I go over? Sorry, I did not go over your second draft. Sorry about that. Icon 866 Hunter Green Strider. So kind of wait on pitcher, getting Green, late, and then Strider 99. I think that's a good pick. Castillo, Woodruff, Shane Smith, Andrew Abbott, Senga, Bryce Miller. This is just an upside pitching draft. Like if these guys hit their peak in health, Woodruff, guys like that, it's really fun. And so I see why you threw 8 at it also. I don't do 8 pitchers too often, but I understand. You waited till pick 94 to get your first pitcher. So Kurtz, Alonso, Suarez, Stewart, McLean, Steer. You did take all the Reds infielders. So maybe a little extreme for only 6 to have 4 of the same team. I like all the guys. It's just I don't know about having 4 of the same team, especially with 6. Soto, Yelich, Cruz, Luis Robert Jr., Cohen Cowser, Zuna. Very, very strong outfield. Just not only with some stacks and things of that nature, but that's I think Ozuna is a great price, and you pulled him up, and I think it makes a lot of sense. He's one of my favorite outfield clicks in like the 120s plus. So yeah, no, I know you're drafting at volume, so taking different build structures, trying different things. I think that's the best approach to baseball. I think you want to have your core strategy, of course, but you want to mix it up. So sorry for forgetting you. Any tips on MLB Eliminator? So for me, I generally, in regular drafts, I start pitching 5th, 6th round. The limb, I'm willing to, and ADPs are a little different. I'm willing to wait a little bit more to like the 7th or 8th round. Willing to wait more to the 7th, 8th round and kind of load up in the mid-tier pitching, kind of like that 7th through 13th round. I probably want at least 4, if not 5 pitchers. So early I'm really balancing, and I'm more balancing my infield and outfield. Like you saw in my first draft, I took outfield first 4 picks. I definitely want to be more balanced, just because I think you want your infield and outfield to really have strong cores. Still generally go the 7-7-6 route. Also, guys who potentially are injured go way down the board for me. Even some of these hitters, like I know it sounds better for guys like Corbin Carroll, and down the board for them is, I'm not talking about Corbin Carroll should be a 5th rounder, but Corbin Carroll I think now is a defensible turn pick. I don't think so in a limb, just because if he's not ready, and same with Ramirez, same with Holiday later, some other guys, definitely some of those pitchers who might not even start till May or June. Like that's great. That's great that Garrett Cole could be like the number 1 ace the second half of the year. But if he isn't ready to start till June, there's no way I can take him even where he goes in regular drafts, at least in my opinion. I think there's just it just doesn't matter if he is the best guy for the last 3/4 of the season if you are so much less of a chance of getting to that, past the first quarter of the year. So that's the way I definitely take the injuries far more seriously. Like Hunter Green, I get what he's doing here, taking Hunter Green like a round and a half, 2 rounds later. But for me, Hunter Green right now in the limb doesn't make a lot of sense. I'd need even a bigger fall, because if Hunter Green starts the year slow, then it's just real trouble for you. Because the limb, I think it's a fun format, but I just want as much security and safety as I can. And so pitchers, I'm really looking for innings eaters, some guys. I want a couple guys on good teams to get those wins. Getting those wins and quality starts, definitely help give you the net edge. And it's like each time they do that, it gives you that better edge to advance. So, I didn't have a straight ball nowhere in front of me. Kicks, I guess DJ Moore's traded the Bills. Yeah, talked about that a little bit. Kicks, a couple times. We'll talk about more with Meg tonight, but that was definitely a shakeup today. So appreciate everyone for being in here, and I will be on later tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern with Meg, and I'll be back tomorrow at 1 doing football. Hope everyone has a great day. Thanks again for jumping in to drafts, chat, liking this episode, everything else. We appreciate you, and I will catch you later.